Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Our Take. We are your hosts. My name is Taylor,
I'm Connor.
and this is the first of a few, or probably more than a few episodes we're going to have without our usual host, which is Ocean, because he's off doing army things. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Mission Impossible. This is another Skydance and Paramount Pictures production. I think this is number 7.
Yes. Well,
Something
I guess
like
it's part one of a
Right.
part two of a two-part
Yeah, so if you consider
movie. So yeah,
like by
it's
release
the
is
seventh
this
one.
number 7, right?
Yeah.
But this is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, as you said.
Yeah.
Connor, can you give me a cast of this movie?
Yeah. So we have, as always, the titular Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, Haley
Of course.
Atwell as Grace, Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa, Vanessa Kirby as Alana, Palm Clementieff, I don't know if I'm saying that right, as Paris, Isai Morales as Gabriel, Simon Pegg as Benji, Ving Rhames as Luther,
Yeah.
Henry Chizerny as Agent Kittredge, and like a whole bunch of other people. Nicholas Hoult in this movie somewhere. I don't even know where he was, but he's in this movie. And
I don't know if he is. That could just be a Google mix-up thing. I don't remember seeing him, but
I don't remember seeing him either. But
yeah, I don't think
there's
he
like
is.
a million people in this movie.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people in this movie. A lot of returning familiar faces, and then we got some pretty cool, I would say, newer faces in this movie.
Yeah,
especially because some of them are, I would say, playing characters that we wouldn't normally see them in, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll get into that later. We also have
Shea Wiggum as Jasper Briggs, who's the American agent guy who's constantly chasing hackers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's your cast for this movie. Of course, as usual, we're going to go ahead and give you our spoiler-free thoughts on the movie, get into scores, and then finishing off with the spoiler section. So, that being said, Connor, what did you think of this movie without spoilers?
Without spoilers, I loved it. There was one character in this whole movie that I did not like, and I didn't really understand the point of the character being there or being introduced at this point in the story. But besides that, I loved everything else about the movie.
Okay. Yeah, short and sweet. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I thought this movie was fucking awesome. I will admit, when I was younger, I did not care for Tom Cruise or the Mission Impossible franchise. But as I rewatched them growing up, I started to like them more and more. And
I always loved the Mission Impossible movies. I watched the first one a long time ago on VHS with my mom, and just loved everyone of them since then.
I think the main reason is for some reason when I was younger, I just hated non-realistic spy things, you know. So but I don't care now, so it doesn't matter. But I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was super fun. It is I don't remember the exact runtime. I know it's over 2 hours. It's close to 3.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 43 minutes, I think.
But I enjoyed it the entire time. And I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, good entry as always. I don't think I've seen a Mission Impossible movie that I didn't actually like.
Yeah, so
or that I hated. So
yeah, so as much as I'm not a huge fan of Paramount and stuff, but of course, they got great stuff. But
yeah, for a series running almost as long as the Fast and Furious series, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, this is actually doing really well. So
Yeah.
I can actually appreciate this one. And
Yeah.
yeah, so let's get into some scores. And Connor, what would you give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 today?
I'd probably give it like 9. I
Okay,
give it a 9.
really good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was uh I was debating whether like thinking about what I would give this movie, and I was trying to think of reasons why I would lower it, but it's really hard for me to, so I'm gonna give it a
Yeah.
9 as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have given it a 10. But there was just that one character that kind of brought it down to a 9
Yeah,
for me. So
which is, I mean, still really good, so it's
yeah.
not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Think I have an idea of who that is, but of course we'll
Yeah.
get into that in the spoilers. But that is our scores for you, ladies and gentlemen. 9s all around from us. We will maybe figure out a way to like retroactively get Ocean's opinion on it later.
Yeah. We'll try and like put Ocean in here again. And
Yeah,
obviously our as this is like a part 1 of 2-part movie.
right.
He's
If
only like the
anything, in
first half
part,
of the movie. Yeah.
yeah, and the
Part
next one we
2.
can cover it again.
Yeah, and our scores may change depending
True, that is true.
on you know as the whole thing as a whole,
Yeah,
depending on how it
so
goes.
maybe whenever he gets back, we'll do like a I don't know, like a debrief thing with him, video
Yeah.
with us, all of us, and then he can go back and watch all the movies he will be missing throughout this month,
Yeah.
and then talk about it a little bit there. So that's it for the spoiler free. Those are our scores. This is going to be your official.
Spoiler alert.
All right, Connor. Let's get into the beginning with the introductions of all the new characters.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the introduction of Haley Atwell in this franchise?
Not a fan.
Oh, okay. This
That
is
was
not
the
the character
character.
I was
Yeah,
thinking of. I
this
thought it
is
was
the
a different
character
one.
I did not like. It really just made no sense. I was like, how many of these fucking movies have they introduced new characters like this that are constantly like at odds with Tom Cruise? And the previous ones, he would have just shot him with a fucking like sleeping dart and be like, okay, bye. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know. Like, but there's no way that he just picked this random lady and was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going, trying to be friends with this lady who
Yeah.
keeps fucking me over for the whole fucking movie. I don't know. I was like, really? Like,
Yeah.
and then
It is. Yeah, I understand that. It does feel weird. And
like it just doesn't. I was just like, there's like, I don't know, like so many times that people within his own organization has like betrayed him after being his like friend forever, and he wasn't like, you know what, I'm still gonna
I'm still going to
bring
try.
you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring you back in the fold. He was just like, all right, well, you know what, beep, you're asleep. I don't know, like forever.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It definitely is a little weird.
and she
As
just
far
came out
as
of
like,
nowhere, and it just kind of seemed like it was just kind of shoehorned in there. Like I don't
yeah,
really know what the whole purpose of a character was besides the fact that she stole the key. Like if she had stolen one half of the key from that guy, and as soon as Tom
yeah,
Cruise got the key from her, there's no point of her being there anymore. You know what I mean? Like he that was it. He could have just been like, okay, thanks for the key.
yeah.
Knock
I
you
mean,
out. Bye bye.
there was a little bit more that he wanted her for. I don't know if it was like good enough to explain why.
Yeah, I
Because
just think it
obviously
was
he,
super unnecessary, especially
yeah,
compared to Ilsa, who basically she replaces. I was like, "There's why? Let's say you don't need to replace her." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
that's fair. I wasn't super attached to Ilsa anyways, but it just basically seemed like a.
Yeah,
I kind of think of it like a like Bond, where there's always a new girl and there's always like another
yeah,
supporting character or whatever.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
I do agree. It seemed a little like of a stretch, and like
Yeah,
she kind of helps a little bit, and then after that, it's like, well, you don't really need to be there. But
yeah,
I was
and
fine with
I
it
don't
because
know.
I thought
Like,
she did really well. It was cool to see her in a
yeah,
new
she wasn't like a bad
role and stuff.
actor. I was like, oh god, stop talking. It's just like I was just like, there's no fucking reason for you to like replace the Ilsa's character with this random lady because you know Ilsa's obviously like way more skilled than she is
Yeah, I
at like
mean,
combat and everything.
obviously
Like,
she.
yeah, like she has like 10 times more like skill ability to do what needs to be done than this lady who has like it's just a pickpocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, both of them I would say are kind of weak, anyways. But later on in this movie, uh,
Yeah,
but it was just to me just a they just wanted the new character. Obviously, they
right.
kill off Ilsa later, and she's going to be, I'm assuming, returning in part two. But I
Yeah,
thought she did great. I
yeah,
mean, Rebecca Ferguson obviously is great as Ilsa. Tom
yeah,
Cruise is
yeah.
awesome.
Spoiler alert: Ilsa gets killed.
Yeah, well,
Ilsa
this
gets
is the
killed and
spoilers,
is
but
yeah. Ilsa gets killed and is replaced by uh
basically, yeah, not like
Grace.
technically, but you
Yeah,
know, kind of supposed to be. But yeah, they have this weird like it's almost like a Batman and Catwoman like relationship.
yeah, and he doesn't
like
even know her. I was like, what? Like,
yeah, I mean
like
neither does Batman,
immediately,
but
yeah.
like he
But
doesn't know.
they immediately have this relationship where he's just like, even though, even though Ilsa is his like love interest,
Yeah,
he's immediately like, oh, never mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as he meets
yeah.
this other lady,
Like you said, I just take it like Bond, and he's just
yeah,
like, you know what, next, and I'm just like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, I guess all that other shit you went through, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt weird. Like especially after he saves her fucking life in the desert during like a storm and like goes through all
Right.
this shit, and then he's like, "Oh, actually,
Bye.
yeah. Well, actually, what's your name, Grace? You want to come with me? You know what I mean? It's like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever.
So
I don't know.
yeah, it's a little weird, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
I don't
it's
know.
definitely
It just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, it's just she just seems like the only character that doesn't fit
okay. There's another character
within
I
the
actually
universe.
thought, even though it's weird because I really like them
Yeah.
and I thought they did well, but I thought just felt off was actually Palm Clementive's character.
Oh, the assassin girl.
Yeah, like the henchman to
Yeah.
Gabriel.
I mean, I liked her. I thought she was cool. She was kind of like she was kind of like oh man, what's that girl's name? I can't remember the girl's name, but from the Wolverine, his like little sidekick Japanese girl.
Oh, I don't know her name.
She kind of felt like that, where she was like Gabriel's little like just kind of sidekick to his
Yeah,
like
no, she was. I mean,
Wolverine.
she was basically his like right hand
Yeah,
woman in this case. She was really cool.
yeah,
I liked a lot of the like I guess aggressiveness of the character and stuff. Cool
yeah,
outfits. It was kind of like My Chemical Romancey a little bit with the makeup and stuff. I thought it was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. She's very
Uh,
punk.
this is like in case you don't realize, people, this is Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's Mantis, but she does a great
So
job that I couldn't even tell almost.
no, but that's why I liked it was because it's
Yeah,
such a different uh, role that we're used to seeing for the specific actor. That same
yeah,
thing with Haley Atwell. That's why I liked them a lot.
yeah.
But I don't know, like I felt like they tried to give like a weird, like emotional aspect to this character that I didn't understand why. Like,
I think what it was is just that they like uh I don't know if they were trying to be emotional. I think it was just that they were trying to show. I think throughout this whole movie, a lot of the like the events that they linger on, like when Ilsa dies or this other lady dies, that like these are events that are like irreversible. They're like canon events, you know, where
Yeah.
like the machine knows that these events are going to happen. So, you know, she's kind of just like a regular henchman sidekick up until the end of the movie when they're in this speeding train. And then Gabriel's like, the machine said that you would betray us later, like, you know, later in this train and give our like plan away to Tom Cruise. So I'm going to kill you. And he just like tries
I
to
mean,
kill her. But
I understand
technically,
that. It was just
that's yeah. But technically, that's what sets in motion that she betrays them. Do you know what I mean? Which this is like the thing that I love about this movie is that you it you can kind of like reverse engineer the entire movie, like go backwards from the end to the beginning. Because if Gabriel hadn't told her that and tried to kill her, then that scene with her being stabbed and saving them and dying, but telling them the plan because she was dying wouldn't have happened.
well. I mean, we don't know if that would have happened, but
Right, but that was what like she obviously didn't think that before Gabriel had tried to kill her. You know what I mean?
well, I feel like that doesn't make sense because then he wouldn't say that unless she already had the thought and just never did it yet.
Well, it's not that she already had the thought because it can't like read your mind. It's just predicting the future. So it predicted that there would be some like type of event that would happen that would push her to tell Tom Cruise their plan because he had shown her mercy and because Gabriel didn't show her mercy and tried to kill her. Which I think is kind of crazy. It's like it expects everyone to do like it expected Gabriel to try and kill her.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty standard for him.
Right. But that's what set off the whole thing. That like him trying to kill her, she was like, "What the fuck?" And then she was like, "Oh, okay, well, fuck this guy. I'm gonna go help Tom Cruise because he didn't like kill me when he had the chance." You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's entirely true, um, but
I don't know. That
sure.
that's the sense that I got from this movie. You know, from like that scene and uh, like especially with the scene when Elsa dies and like the it's like even before the fight scene started between Elsa and Gabriel,
On the bridge, yeah.
yeah, on the bridge, you already knew that she was going to get killed. You know what I mean? Like before that scene started, it was already like a lose lose situation. Either she gets killed fighting Gabriel, or she doesn't fight Gabriel and Grace gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like standard movie stuff, though. Like, the introduction of this character is clearly he's supposed to be
Right,
replacing
but
her character. The entire time she was supposed to die multiple
right,
times.
but without assuming it, they already knew that from like before they even had you know what I mean? Like from the time that they entered the party, like the machine and Gabriel basically was just like, this is going to happen either way tonight. So either one of them are going to die. And then as soon as they trapped Tom Cruise in that alley and the machine was talking to Tom Cruise, it was like, it was also talking to Ilsa at the same time and was like, you can go save her, but you're going to die.
Yeah.
So like they just straight up tell you instead of just, you know, insinuating. So it's like I like that it was like a scene of like impending dread that like you just know that this is going to happen, but you can't really do anything to stop it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. The You're right that this is pretty much like the whole thing of the creation of the entity and stuff.
Yeah.
I mostly really like it just because, and I mean, everything you said was, true. Like, it does have that constant impending doom and stuff throughout the movie because they, like, everybody is just constantly trying to think, like, or figure out, like, how do we get one step ahead of this fucking basically algorithm that already can run all these simulations a
Right.
million times over and knows what you're going to do or not going to do.
Right. Yeah. So
I like this whole idea because it's not that far fetched from reality.
reality. Yeah. So we should explain real quick what actually, because I think people, if you haven't seen this movie and you're still here in the spoiler section, you probably
Yeah,
are
I
like,
mean,
"What's
honestly,
happening?"
if you haven't seen this, I don't know why you're here. Go
Yeah, you
watch
should
the
go
movie.
watch it,
But yeah, so the
please,
movie
before you come back.
basically revolves around uh, this new like
AI.
AI that was
Yeah.
like accidentally kind of created to an
It,
extent.
well, it was
It was it
yes.
was a test thing, but it like went beyond what they were expecting
Yeah.
from the
It was
U.S.
created by the American government
Right,
army.
to test,
Yeah.
and they use it on this like Russian stealth sub that just fucking goes way beyond what they were expecting, and they lose control of it, and it just takes over. I mean, it doesn't take over anything, but it accesses pretty much anything and any like
Yeah.
digitally.
It becomes sentient.
Right,
It's like I'm gonna just do my
it's
own thing.
basically just Skynet,
Yeah.
but
It's
it doesn't choose to act on anything for a while
yeah.
until
It's basically
these
playing
events.
everybody against themselves and each other.
Yeah. And then it decides that Gabriel, which is the main antagonist for this movie, which I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Intentionally, it's supposed to be that way, but I hated
Well,
this character so much.
he's like a second. He's like I'd say like a mini boss, and then
He's
the machine is like the big boss.
he's the Sauron,
Gabriel.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
he
he's the like he's the yeah Sauron to the machine's fucking whatever Maga. I can't say his fucking name.
yeah,
Whatever.
but he's just the human that's was
Yeah,
chosen to do the bidding of the fucking entity
yeah,
that he can't do because he
yeah. It
basically like so powerful, but he's digital, so it can only go so far, which is why he
yeah
is him.
yeah. If
But
you watch this movie in the beginning, you may like initially be confused on whether Gabriel is actually like a real person or if he's like a fucking like robot or something. But he's actually a real person.
yeah, he's a real person.
Because
He's from what, the first one?
no, so he actually they just kind of he's also a new character. They just inputted him in this series. Like the flashback that they showed isn't actually a part of any other movie.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah. So he doesn't actually exist until now. Cuz his whole thing happened before um Tom Cruise was actually in
But
the
is this
IMF.
something they talk about in the first movie?
No. Tom Cruise is already in the IMF and it's a completely different like story happening.
Okay, I mean that's kind of dumb. So that's annoying.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, cool. I hated this character, but that means I hate him even more. Um, that makes it a little bit worse, but yeah, he's basically just the fucking henchman of the entity, and this entity's fucking with everybody all the time, all at once, and they're trying to figure out how. Well, the only thing anybody ever really kind of knows is that the key that was on the Russian sub, which basically started the whole thing, but they didn't realize when they activate their little system thing.
Yeah.
All anybody knows is everybody wants that key because they just assume that that is what can get them to the source code to
Right.
eliminate the
They
entity
assume
itself,
that the entity's source code is trapped within
the
the
sub.
the sunken sub in the sonar capsule where it was released. That's like where it was put in by the U.S. government. Right. And the only thing that unlocks this capsule, is the key,
which is a two-part key that
which
links
is yeah,
together.
two keys that like link together, and then it becomes one key, and it beeps. I don't know how it does that,
lights.
But
yeah,
it's got lights.
I don't know.
But I mean, it is cool, MacGuffin kind of thing, where it's just like we got to get the key. But
yeah,
yeah, Gabriel. I didn't mind him, but I think it didn't bother me as much. His character didn't bother me as much because I didn't think of him as like the big bad guy. I just thought of him as like the henchman to like he's like him and the Paris girl, are just the two henchmen to the big the
Yeah, I mean they are,
yeah
but I just think he's fucking really irritating in any time on screen
yeah
because he's like this fucking like overly like zesty
cryptic
fucking.
yeah he's like
Well, not
a
even the crypt, like literally just his face, the way he looks, the way he moves. It's just
yeah
fucking gay. Like I really hate how his character is. Like he always has this stupid, snobby like appearance about him and everything he does. Like even on the bridge, like there was
yeah
when Ilsa comes up and he like just the way he turns around and is like standing there. It's just so dumb. But he's this fucking old man that
yeah
like for some like I know you have all this knowledge or whatever that the entity can tell you, but that doesn't make you this like doesn't make
omnipotent
you a
being.
powerful human being because you're still a human. And unless you were training or devoting your life to these things, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
even the fight scene they have on the bridge, Elsa and him, it would look so fucking bad. Like that
yeah,
was one thing that I thought was weird in this movie is the
yeah. That
choreography for the fighting was kind
yeah,
of shit.
yeah. It was. Yeah, that fight scene actually didn't make any sense because Elsa had like an actual sword, and he just had
Right.
a knife.
It was
So
just stupid. Like
I was like, "There's
just
no way that you're gonna get past the sword. Like that's like it has like at least triple the length, like that
right. Like I mean,
switchblade has."
like there is a certain extent that somebody could obviously somebody's skilled enough, but that is
Right,
not you.
right.
Like,
You can tell that Elsa is skilled in sword fighting, so there's no way that you're just like if she
well, I
just
don't
had
know. I
a
thought she
sword.
looked pretty bad too, but like just if they're both bad
Yeah,
and she has a sword and he only has a knife, that still puts you up above the guy with a knife,
yeah,
But that, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I don't think I've ever had issues before in previous movies, but in this movie, not. I don't anybody but Tom Cruise. He actually was fine the entire movie, but anybody else that got into a fight was pretty bad.
yeah. Yeah. That was. I think I kind of yeah. I guess the only two that I noticed that were bad was the bridge fight scene and then the scene right before that where Grace is trying to like escape and she's like running away and then the two guys come up to grab her and
Yeah, that one was stupid too. Yeah,
she somehow gets away from two like trained bodyguards or something.
yeah, those are the two like probably
she
big
actually
ones.
has no experience fighting anybody.
As far as we know.
Yeah, because she's just like like
Yeah,
just like
I mean, like this, like I don't want to put like too much crap on her because we don't know. Like
yeah.
this is a new character. This is only part one. I imagine she's gonna be in part two, but we have no idea of her entire background. All we know of her is that she's a thief.
Yeah, that
So
she
by
can
that logic, yeah,
only
it's
steal
stupid.
things.
I'm like, how are you doing this? But
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. To me, Elsa seemed like she was more, at least, more trained in bladed weapon fighting than
yeah, I mean,
Gabriel was.
I doubt she is, but
Compared
she
to
did better.
Gabriel, even
But
in the later
if your
scene,
basis is shit, that doesn't really say much. But
yeah, even in the later scene when Gabriel's fighting Tom Cruise on the train, it didn't really seem like he was doing much with the knife. He was just kind of like a regular guy would do with a knife. Like he just seemed like he would just be a random person who picked up a knife and then tried to fight somebody with it.
Yeah, so I just hated his fucking character. But yeah, I just think he needs some.
Yeah, I didn't think he was bad.
Some work, but
yeah, I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was fine, but
no, he's fine for the story. But he's just a stupid character.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Was great to see Simon Pegg. Fucking love him.
Yeah.
Benji's always great. Ving Rhames too.
Yeah.
Really love seeing him.
It's cool.
And then I don't know,
Every
like Vanessa what's her name? Alana? Like she kind of was just like there, not really that important.
yeah,
I mean, she is, but not really, you know.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, she's kind of she's a recurring character from the last movie, I believe.
yeah, but
Same as
she's
Elsa.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's fine. Let's talk about some of the huge like action sequences in this movie because that is one thing I think probably helps this movie for the runtime is like it just keeps going up and up and up like throughout the movie,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um,
It's they did a really cool job with all the like set pieces.
yeah, crazy stunts, dude.
Yeah, crazy stunts. I love the car chase scene, like
Sponsored
that
by
entire
BMW.
thing. Yeah, sponsored by well, also sponsored by Fiat because they are driving a tiny
Apparently,
little
not
Fiat.
not as much as BMW though, but
Yeah,
a little bit.
and then but that was super cool. I thought the Fiat was fucking hilarious, and it
Yeah, it
was
was
just like
fun.
this tiny little bug car, just like driving away from all these other people.
Yeah, I
That
mean, I
was
don't know if
great.
it's probably not realistic, but at the same time, it wasn't well. I don't imagine it's a standard Fiat because it
Yeah,
has like
yeah,
the
it was like
IMF
upgraded.
tech in it, but it was funny though. I mean,
Yeah, that was
it's
funny.
cool chase
Um,
sequences.
it was a really cool chase sequence. I loved the practical effects on that.
Yeah,
Um, I thought the obviously the train scene is the biggest set piece scene. Um,
yeah. I mean, even that's got like other parts around it, like
yeah,
because
but
the jump, dude, is so fucking cool.
yeah, the jump
Um,
is really cool. I have to say though, like I thought all these set piece moments in the film were awesome, as they always are in Mission Impossible movies.
yeah,
But I do think that I don't know if I think there were better set pieces done in previous movies. Like if you're going for like trying to top, other set pieces, like trying to one up every time.
yeah.
I think there's still like better like a good one is the Dubai. I don't know if you saw like Ghost Protocol, but when they're in Dubai
I don't think I did so.
and he has to literally like climb the like actual tallest building on Earth and like swing from it and all this stuff in real life and do all that shit. That was pretty insane. And the like water, there's like a water tube thing. I don't know how to describe it, but he has to like infiltrate this base to get like a server packet, but it's underneath like it's underground and it's completely submerged in like a hydro like
Plant.
yeah like a hydro plant, but it's like a fucking whirlpool like a monsoon kind of thing
Oh,
where it's
okay.
just constantly and like he actually had to fucking hold his breath in real life for 5 minutes to fucking like do
Yeah, I
that
mean,
entire
anything Tom Cruise does
yeah
is legit.
so so those scenes I think were definitely more like uh life threatening, I would say probably. Like
I mean, that's. I don't
comparatively,
know if that's true, but I mean, I get it. Like, it might
yeah,
look more threatening.
yeah,
They're all fucking crazy.
yeah.
The
They're all
the
crazy.
train sequence I like a lot in this because it introduces like a level system in the action sequence because as the train so the bridge like after it explodes and the train's falling they have to traverse through every single car as it's slowly going down which is like
Yeah,
a new layout and they have to like go
yeah,
through it and stuff. I thought it was super cool.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, that the whole train scene is like the best set piece in the entire movie because
Right,
you
because
have
that's when we also get the I mean
you,
there
you
was
get
a little
him.
bit in the beginning but the face Grace gets to do the
Yeah,
cool
you get the face
um
mask.
face mask
Tom
thing.
Cruise actually jumps off a mountain
Yes, like
and
that was a real fucking
parachutes. Yeah,
bike mountain, jumped off, did that shit like
parachutes onto the
multiple
train.
times. Some behind the
Um,
scenes.
right? And
slams right
then,
into that bitch. I don't know how the fuck you
yeah,
don't
I don't know
die,
how he survived
bro.
just
Like,
plowing a hole into the fucking train. It wasn't like he landed on the roof and was like kind of like
no, he
rolled.
came through the side wall
Yeah,
of the
he came
train.
through the side of the fucking train and actually smashed directly through it. And I was like, you'd be like dead on impact. There's no fucking way that you're like,
And if you're not dead, your legs are broken. You're
yeah,
probably paralyzed.
yeah,
But
yeah.
obviously,
It's
movie.
Mission Impossible, so
Yeah,
it's fine. It's Tom Cruise. He's made
it's
of
Tom Cruise. Maybe
adamantium.
he could probably do it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got witchcraft, so
Yeah. But yeah, the train sequence where at the end of this train scene, it's a runaway train. They can't stop it. There's a bridge coming up, and the machine had already planted bombs on the bridge and exploded it.
yeah.
So they released the front engine of the train from the rest of the train so that the brakes automatically hit the rest of the train cars. And it's not fast enough, so all the front cars start falling into this
one by
ravine.
one start
one
falling off.
by one falling off, and they gotta, like you said, run up and escape this impending train derailment situation, which I thought was cool. That was the coolest part of the train scene. Before that, I kind of, I don't know. I thought the final fight or whatever on top of the train was kind of, I don't want to say lackluster, but just, I don't know. It seemed very like Indiana Jones, like the new Indiana Jones. You know what I'm talking about? Or
I mean, it is on top of a train.
Yeah,
yes, and it does have objects they dodge and all that kind of stuff. Yes, because that's what a train involves.
But it's like, I don't know. Like he's somehow stabbing the knives through the metal fucking like steel roof of the train to like hang on. I was just like, okay, that.
I mean,
How
I don't
strong
know if
is
it's
this
actually
guy?
made out of steel, but
There's
it's probably not because it's supposed to be fast. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like train sequences to me, or on top of trains specifically.
Yeah.
I don't really care for in any movie because it's just really dumb
like
overall.
it looks cool, but I was just kind of like I wasn't really excited like I was when the train crashed and they had to fucking like escape it. You know what I mean?
I think the biggest reason being is just the characters.
Yeah, Gabriel.
Like, if you gave me Tom Cruise and somebody else on top of a train, I'm sure they could make it work and it'd be really cool.
It just seemed really slow.
Gabriel is just not the guy.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say is that the fight scene just seemed really slow. It was like Gabriel was kind of like
yeah, which it actually probably should be because they're on top of a train. I don't really anybody standing on top of a train is probably like, especially that kind of train where it's just like max fucking speed. They have no control of it. Like it's kind of ridiculous that you could just kind of like, yeah, I'm totally fine. There's not just like fucking pounds of wind blasting you.
Yeah, but I think that's the reason why when they do these train scenes in movies, they don't make it like the fight scene is super slow because it kind of takes the wind out of it, you know, where you're like,
yeah, but that's why I think they're stupid in general because the other alternative is just as stupid. People are just dumb and they're just like, oh, I just want to like, let it go because it looks cool in the movie. No, they're both dumb. It's one is realistic and you don't like it, but guess what? That's what it would probably be like. The other one is not realistic at all, and you're like, that looks cool. No, just do something else.
Yeah.
I don't like either one.
Yeah. It was okay. It was, it was
it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. It was a fun scene overall, like the entire from beginning to end on the train was fun. And I kind of didn't what I don't understand is so Agent Kittredge, who's recently has usually been Tom Cruise's like handler agent,
kind of, yeah.
he seems like a bad guy now. I don't know. I don't get what's happening.
No,
If
it's
if
just
he's like
so.
actually like actively working against him, or if he's actively working with him but pretending that he's against him. I don't really get what's going on there. Because at the end of the movie, there's like a message from Kittredge, but he's like telling Tom Cruise to destroy the machine, but the entire movie he was against destroying the machine. So I didn't really get that part.
What is the
So
what was
like
the
when they're
message?
driving away from the train, and it's like the last scene of the movie, they're going underwater, like flowing, like going down towards the submarine. Kittredge is just talking in the background, being like, "Your mission, so you choose to accept it, is to get to the submarine before everybody else and destroy the machine to save the world." Basically,
I don't remember that. I mean, I just don't like
right? Yeah,
remember it, but
yeah. But
I
it's
remember the shot of
yeah.
it and
He's
him
like narrating
talking.
in the background. He's
Yeah,
like, "You gave me grace, and you think you've saved her life, or she thinks that you saved her life, but we both know that you've only bought her more time." And he's like,
yeah,
"And now your mission, should you choose to accept it, is you must get to the submarine before everybody else, and it's like a race against time, and you have to destroy the machine so that the world can be saved." But
yeah.
the entire
I
movie, he was
don't.
like, "Don't destroy the machine. I'm gonna like you, like you know what I mean." I was just like,
It's
"Huh?"
not, well, okay. It's not really that complicated. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's not a bad guy. All right. I just like this is you may. In fact, this is probably common, like for people to think this in this movie. This man, Agent Kittredge or whatever, or director, I don't know what the fuck he is, but he works for the United States government. He is doing his job the entire time, and his job was to acquire this fucking key to get control of this entity. All right?
right.
That is not something he himself decided he is going to do. He was simply tasked with doing so. So that in itself doesn't make him bad, even though we know as the audience, because it is a movie and we see from different perspectives, that nobody should have the entity, because I would think so. That's just, nobody should have like that kind of
Well, yeah,
power, I guess.
everybody's bad. I mean, like
But of
the
course, the
other
United States fucking government is going to
right,
want control of this entity because every fucking government in the world wants that.
right,
Because that's how you control everything.
right. They're all bad guys. Every government is all bad guys because they want to control the entire world. They
I
want
mean,
to
they're
have the
not.
entity to be able to do world domination and be the ultimate superpower. That's not a good thing. That's like I wouldn't say like I'm an American, but I'd be like, there's no way that I would want America to rule the entire fucking world. That's you know
Yeah,
that
but
they
in
all state
reality, so
that they
in
want
reality,
this
then
entity.
do you not like the United States? Because that's actually what the history of the United States has always been. Is
No,
we
but
have a
this
large control over the
in
entire
in
world.
this movie, I'm saying if I was in this movie and this entity existed, and the entire point for all of these people that are chasing this entity, or these government agencies that are coming after Tom Cruise to get to this entity, is because it will allow them to be the ultimate dominating force in the entire world, which is not that no obviously that's bad, that you can't do that. Like that's not that you, like they would
Well,
have it would be it would they state it word for word in the movie that it would allow you to dominate the entire world as the
yes,
only and
what
ultimate
would
superpower.
allow and what you do are two entirely different things.
Yeah, it's strongly stated that that's what's going to happen, is like either either all these other countries get it and they do it, or America gets it and they do it, or the machine wins and everybody dies. Is like the back and forth between all these superpowers and the machine.
Yeah, but my point being is one does not equal the other. That just simply exist. It is what you
Right,
do with whatever it is that allows it to become whatever.
right.
So they're not inherently bad. It is just simply the situation that was put in place in the movie.
Right. The only one who wants to destroy it is Tom Cruise. The only one who actually wants to like get rid of it is Tom Cruise. Everybody else wants it for themselves.
I mean, themselves meaning like
Their representative, whatever.
whatever. Yeah. But we don't know what everybody else would do with it anyways. So
Yeah.
of course everybody wants it, because if not, then they're just assuming that your entire life is just over.
Right. Right.
Which is not actually true, but you don't know that, so they're just afraid.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Which they should be. I mean, it has the power to like basically control everything from the movie. It like literally it knows the future at all times and can control any situation of any like outside of analog technology. It controls all like digital technology that it wants to.
I mean, it has an idea of what everything is, and it has a certain amount of control of everything. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it has it if it wanted to like actually control everything. I think it would. I think it just choosing not to at this point. But it does. I mean, it basically erases Gabriel from any digital thing on Earth, so you can't even see him in like satellite images or cameras or anything. He doesn't exist in
Yeah,
any
but I mean
database.
that's a pretty limited thing. I don't think that would
Yeah.
actually be that difficult.
He also controls all like communications and is able to shut down and control any satellite or all satellites orbiting the Earth. In the scene where Luther's like trying to hop satellites to give communications to Benji so that he can talk to Tom Cruise and tell him where Grace is running to before the bridge.
Yeah.
The thing is like actively just shutting off satellites and like nobody can do anything about it. Just like that's, I mean, it's like literally he has to like scroll the entire globe around to like find out, like, which I don't think that's how that works, but it, obviously is a fake
Yeah.
satellite thing.
But
Yeah, this thing has like omnipotent power almost.
the thing I do want to point out for this movie is like that's true. That's all true in this movie.
Yeah.
Not true in real life. There's a reason why most of the time, especially like with government, I'm mostly talking about the military.
Yeah.
The fundamentals of doing anything is always at its basic level, because you should always expect anything that, which is what Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So you should be prepared and trained for the absolute worst and have no fucking help whatsoever, which is why super elite people can do all these super cool things in real life and we cannot. A lot of the things they do in this movie could easily have still been done without any help with their fucking technology whatsoever. It just happens to be a Mission Impossible thing where that's part of the.
Right,
I
but
don't know.
that's what the threat is in this universe is that they've technology has taken it like is
No, I know.
more
But
than
in this movie, everybody, including in this movie, is so focused on that fact that they think that it's so powerful, which in a sense it is, but only to a limited amount, because although it can predict a lot of things and create a lot of simulations for everything and what it thinks it knows, in this movie, Tom Cruise himself does things that the entity doesn't know or is afraid of and doesn't want him to do. Because all you have to do is just not fucking think and or do something completely out of the ordinary that it doesn't expect.
right, which it but I mean even by the end of the movie, I think that the entity I don't think Tom Cruise beat the entity. I think the entity actually still.
Well, this is part one of part two, so obviously he hasn't beat the entity.
But I mean, like, I think the entity like has already like everything that happened in this movie. I think the entity has already like you said, simulated or planned for, and it like knows that all the events that have happened is like was a possibility of happening, and so he's just already still 1 or 2 steps ahead of Tom Cruise and everybody else
Right.
anyway.
Because again, part one of part two, but I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it is going to fucking obviously happen in the second
yeah.
movie where he realizes what he needs to do. And I'm gonna imagine it's because this is not a unusual story. Like this has
No,
happened
it's
many times
not.
before in
It's
other
not.
completely different types of movies and stuff.
I think it's really well
And
done though in the way that it is. I was like, I like that it's just this like background. Like it's happened a lot in other movies, but the machine has like more of a atmospheric tone in this movie than an actual like. It's not forcing its hand onto the world itself like you're actively seeing it. You know what I mean? It's not like Skynet where it's just like actively like attacking and doing all this stuff. It's like in the background, kind of just existing and just kind of changing, like subtly changing things so that whatever's happening goes the course that it wants it to go. You know what I mean? Without like really partaking in changing big things itself, which I think is cool.
yeah, I think it's weird because it doesn't make sense to me how a sentient being would choose to do that.
Yeah.
Um, unless it has this weird complex that it's better than everybody and it doesn't need to do that, which would probably be true, but it would be a strange thing to like
Yeah. I'm
put.
actually
I don't
hoping
know.
that in the second movie it like wins and it just like and it's like I've checkmated you since the beginning. Like you had no idea and I like, you know what I mean? I think that would be really cool. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't like that cuz Tom Cruise
No,
would
I don't think
lose.
that would go well.
Yeah, and I don't think probably Tom Cruise wouldn't allow him to like lose against the
No,
the bad
not
guy.
happening.
But I think that would be cool to have like a Skynet situation where you lose and it's like we're fucked. You know what I mean? But I'm sure it's probably not what everybody else would want. But I just think it's cool when they do this kind of idea and instead of having the usual thing of like the AI or the machine or the whatever, gets beaten eventually by will the human will or human spirit. Um I just think it's cool when the machine wins, It's like
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Connor's a machine.
yeah. I look, I'm not going to actively root for the machines in real life when it happens, but in
But
movies,
he is actively rooting for it right now.
but in movies, I think it's cool. I think it's a cool idea, and I'm like,
Connor hates the human
no,
race.
I don't hate the human race. I don't hate the human race. Look, humanity first, okay? If there's any Xenos threat or aliens or whatever, okay, human first, bug last, okay? But I'm
But
just
robot and machine number one.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a cool departure from how it usually is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right, and I don't disagree with you. But this is not the franchise for it.
It's not.
You're talking about
It's
like
not.
a yeah, like I mean, fuck, anime, anything else that's just not a AAA Paramount.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not gonna
not.
happen.
But I think it would be a huge like twist, and if like you know throughout the whole next movie you're like he's gonna win, and at the end they're just like nope, and they fucking
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not happening.
it's not
I don't
happening.
think it would like it because it kind of just ruins like the entire franchise. I feel like,
I don't know.
but
Yeah, I would just appreciate it for what it would be, and think that like man, that's so crazy that like you I don't know. Yeah, it definitely would not feel good because you'd be like, man, you go through all this shit and then the fucking machine wins at the end. But it just seems like a cool idea to me that like how do you really beat something that's like it's not a singular machine? I keep saying machine, but it's just like it's just a code. And
yeah,
it's
basically,
in the ether, like literally just everywhere. You know what I mean? So how do you beat that? It's crazy, unless they like EMP the entire world or whatever. But
Life will
yeah,
find a way.
life will find a way. But yeah, I expect Tom Cruise to win, and that's okay, and I'll like that too.
That's okay. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, no, it's awesome. I like that too. I just I like weird concepts, and I like
Yeah. No,
outside the box thinking and
I
all
get
that
it.
other
I
stuff.
get it. Like I
Yeah,
said, I like that too. It's just this is not
yeah,
the
it's not. But that's what I
the
liked
movie
about
for
the
it.
machine.
But,
Is like it was a very ominous, like the Eye of Sauron. When you were saying, talking about
yeah, it's
Lord of the Rings
basically
earlier.
just digital
Yeah, it's
eye.
digital Eye of Sauron, which I thought was cool. I was like, okay, it's just like kind of just like I watch you, and I'm planning ahead for all this other stuff, and I'm not really gonna like nuke everybody, but I'm gonna just kind of take
But
it.
he could.
But he could,
Just
yeah. This thing definitely has the power to like fucking. He probably could have nuked them all immediately if he wanted to, but
so you don't look at his eye thinking, oh wow, that's just the digital version of the United States of America. Except we did nuke the world
yeah,
twice.
yeah, but I don't know. It's more sinister, I think, than a digital United States of America because it's more of like a. I think it's trying to destroy the world by having it destroy itself. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's instead
Right,
of
which is this would feed into the idea I was saying. If it has this weird complex where it's
yeah,
thinking like that, which would still be incorrect because it wouldn't be destroying itself if this is in fact influencing every single thing. It's still doing it. This
yeah,
is just somebody that would be in denial of the fact that they are actively putting somebody, or in this case, humans, in a position to destroy itself.
yeah. I think I'm excited to see what the second movie comes up with for its like end game,
Yeah, it'll
and
be really cool. I don't know when it comes out,
but
but
I hope that it's not like it immediately starts like nuking everybody, and you know what I mean. Like, I hope that they keep.
I feel like that'd be really boring.
Yeah, I hope that they keep it in the background and keep it as like a puppet master kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what it really reminds me. It's a puppet master, and it's just pulling all the strings. It's like Ultron, but not goofy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was really cool. I think it was really well done. I thought the fucking mask thing that Gabriel was wearing, I was like, what the fuck is happening with that? Like they open this so they're on the train.
Oh, see, I hated that too. Just it looks the like tech looks cool. I just hated that that was like it just fits this annoying fucking character that of course that's what he did to get on the train. Was
Yeah.
to be in this fucking capsulated box thing with this ridiculous looking mask and shit that I guess I'm assuming it's just air or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know what. So they get into this train, and the Paris girl, his henchman, opens up the cargo car, and there's like this really long metal suitcase.
Yeah.
And she opens it up, and he's like lying there like a
There he
vampire,
is.
and he's got like this huge like gas mask on, but it's fucking weird, and it's got like
It looks more like a futuristic helmet. Like it's like
yeah, but it
like
has
a
like the
flat surface
yeah, but it has like
shape and
it has
stuff.
a bunch of tubes coming out of it. So he's
Yeah,
like,
so
it's like breathing stuff into him
I'm
or
assuming,
something.
like, yeah, I imagine it's just some kind of breathing apparatus, but it's like, did you really have to do that?
I don't know. I thought it was cool. I was like, man, that's fucking like that's crazy that the like AI created something. I don't know what the fuck this thing does, but it's like I assume that it's just like he's sleeping in there and it's like neurally feeding him information because it has like the AI's eyeball on the fucking thing where it's like it's like looking around and shit. And I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know how that works, but that's fucking cool. If it's just like shooting all the fucking
yeah.
scenarios that I
I mean,
have
like I
in
said,
his head or something.
tech is cool, but
Yeah,
it's like it's just extra. And
yeah,
I don't like it. It just adds to the character that I just fucking hate. Like,
sure.
I don't know. It's just nonsense, but they looked cool. Like the
Yeah,
mask and stuff were cool.
yeah. I thought a lot of the ideas and everything in this movie were really cool, and I just I think this is a lot cooler like AI threat than you know um And what's the was it one of the Fast and Furious movies where they had like an AI threat?
I never watched it. It's one of the
Okay.
ones I never watched.
I think it.
It was.
I
I
may be
know the
wrong.
character that was involved with it is the one
Yeah.
right before this last one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah. Sean Hobbs, I think, is the one with the AI. I think I could be wrong, but
it's if it's not, it's the one before that.
I
I don't know.
definitely think the AI threat in this movie was done better than that one.
It's the Fast and the Furious, bro. What do you expect?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, in recent years,
I haven't seen it, but I believe you because it's the Fast and the Furious. So
yeah. Yeah.
it can't possibly be good. So.
But yeah, really cool. Thanks.
Yeah, overall it's cool, and I like the look of the on screen when it's projecting itself on a screen. I guess
Yeah.
looks cool. It just, I mean, I guess I just need part two but this movie is awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm excited for
had a
part
lot of
two.
fun. Do highly recommend watching this in a theater. And yeah, I'm just excited for part two, which apparently is supposed to be coming out on June 28th of next year. So
sweet. I can't
not
wait.
that far off.
Yeah. Thank God, because if it was like 3 years from now, I've been like,
yeah,
I forgot that
part
other
two
movie.
in 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
We don't have to wait too long for it. So it's exciting. But that's all I got for this movie. Anything else you want to talk
about? No. I think I miss Henry Cavill. I wish he was in this movie too. But
that'd be sick.
Yeah, he was really good in Fallout. If you haven't seen Mission Impossible Fallout, the last movie, go watch it because it's awesome.
Yeah, I probably should. I don't know which ones I have and I have.
Oh,
not
you haven't seen that one? Oh my god. Dude.
Well, I don't know. No, I definitely have not seen Henry Cavill in one.
You gotta watch the Henry Cavill one, dude. It's fucking awesome. It's great.
But I do need to catch up on. It's probably like 3 or 4 I haven't seen.
Okay, sweet. Well, maybe we'll do some reviews on those. We'll do a Mission Impossible catch-up series before the finale of the entire thing. Is this the last movie that they're making? I
don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea.
It feels like the finale of the series.
It feels like it, but then again, it happens all the time. So
yeah. Well, if it's not, then I guess it's not.
I mean, Tom Cruise knows, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tom Cruise knows, but it feels like the finale of the entire series. So
it does. Yeah, it does.
8 movies, I think, is pretty good.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. Then they got to reboot it.
Yeah, but yeah, they're gonna reboot it probably later. But you could keep going. I don't mind. I'll keep watching them.
Yeah, but you could. But then eventually you're gonna have to get rid of Tom Cruise. Well, maybe not because it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's Tom Cruise. You could keep him for another like 30 years.
He's gonna be alive for like a million years. So
yeah, he could at least 30 years continue to do Mission Impossible. He looks like he's at 40. So
35? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, he looks great for being like, I don't know, probably like 60 or something. So. Yeah. Hopefully
61. Yeah.
61? Yeah, so there you go. You still got a good.
Yeah, he's only 31, so.
You still got a good 30 years till he's 90. So I'd say just keep doing them.
Yeah. And then by then, maybe you can think about ending it,
Yeah. Maybe when he's 90, you can think about ending the series and then passing the torch on to someone else. But
and he'll retire.
Or I don't know. I mean, it could go probably another 10 years after he's 90. You probably.
You know what they really need to do?
Yeah.
You know who needs to get into this? Nick Cage.
Yeah. Okay, that's good though. That's actually good. So 30 years from now, if you can pass the torch down to Nick Cage, and then he'll take the mantle from then.
How old is he?
I don't know, but they could do it. He looks fine. Nick Cage looks
only
good.
59, right?
Yeah, he's only 59, so he's got plenty of time. He's actually way younger than.
So after 30 years, they can start doing a collab, and then they can both be the duo.
Yeah, and then another 40 years after that, you can pass it down to Henry Cavill once he's 50.
Yeah.
Okay,
sounds like a plan.
Paramount.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hire us, or you can just take that idea. But we can also work for you. So give us a call,
please. Yeah, I think that'll do it for us here at Any Kind Media. So thank you guys for watching. As always, give us a like if you like the video. comments down below if you have watched this movie and let us know how you feel about it, because we both thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Please
Hopefully
go watch
lots of
this
people
movie.
go out and watch this. Yeah,
Yeah.
this movie, like,
Give this movie a
I
lot
mean,
of
this is
love.
basically one of like 2 movies that I was looking forward to this month.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer being the next one.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Please go out and see it. Share this video with a friend and join us next time on Our Take.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.